Welcome. You're watching Tech in Time. We are marching our way through history, exploring technology's past, present, and future. From the Stone Age to the AI revolution, we'll be covering it all. Enjoy. To start things off, we'll be covering the prehistory era. This begins around 2.5 million years ago and ends roughly around 3000 BCE. You are probably already familiar with the Stone Age, but we'll be diving back into it for a refresher and covering the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic eras as well. Before the written word, before cities, and long before the great empires of the ancient world, humans made their first tools. This marks the very beginning of what we now call technology. In the remote past, the first tool makers were early humans, and the tool? Simple yet revolutionary: stone. Stone tools were the first breakthrough in human innovation, and they laid the foundation for all the technology that would follow. The earliest known tools, called Audubon tools, date back around 2.6 million years. These tools were simple, just flakes and cores used to cut and crush, but they were a giant leap forward. It was a time when the human brain began to think in new ways, seeing stones not just as objects, but as tools to create other tools. These stone tools were made by our ancient ancestors, known as the Homo habilis. They were some of the first to exhibit these complex behaviors, marking the dawn of human technological mastery. The story of the first stone tools is the story of humanity's innovation. Over 2.6 million years ago, early humans began shaping the natural world with the simplest of instruments: hammerstones, flakes, and cores. These tools were far more than just objects. They were survival strategies designed to process food, craft materials, and even shape environments. The first iterations of these stone tools, such as the hammerstones and sharp flakes, were revolutionary for early humans. These tools were used for essential survival tasks like processing food, including breaking open bones for marrow, cutting meat, and scraping hides for clothing and shelter. They also likely aided in cracking nuts and processing plants, expanding the variety of resources that early humans could exploit. These tools reflect an early understanding of cause and effect, as toolmakers recognized that striking one stone with another could produce a sharper edge. This ability to intentionally shape the environment to meet their needs demonstrates the beginning of human innovation and problem solving. The earliest tools found were the Audubon tools, first identified in the 1930s at the site of Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, East Africa. They were discovered by Louis Leakey. The tools found at this site, which date to about 2.6 million years ago, marked a pivotal moment in the study of early human evolution. Since their discovery, other Audubon tool sites have been found across Africa, such as in Ethiopia, Kenya, and South Africa, providing further insight into the widespread use of these tools by early hominins. Audubon tools are important, not only because they represent the earliest known technology, but also because they offer clues about the cognitive evolution of early humans. These tools suggest that early hominins could plan, modify their environment, and possibly even share knowledge. Around this time is when fire came into play of things. I'm trying to decide how I want to format these videos, and I think I'm going to do fire in the form of a short. I just wanted to throw this in there so people didn't think I forgot about fire. After the Audubon tool tradition, which flourished around 2.6 million years ago, early humans began to develop more advanced and specialized tools, marking the transition to the Acheulean tool tradition. This new phase began around 1.76 million years ago and is associated with Homo erectus, who is believed to have been the primary maker of these tools. The Acheulean tools are characterized by their large bifacial hand axes and cleavers, which are more efficient and versatile compared to the Audubon tools. While the Audubon tools were good for what they were, the Acheulean tools were used for more specialized things like hunting, butchering larger animals, and processing plant materials even better. These tools reflect an improvement in cognitive and motor skills. They require more planning and precision during the manufacturing process. Evidence from archaeological sites suggests that early humans began to engage in more complex behaviors like tool sharing, cooperation, and even long-distance transport of raw materials to create their tools. By about 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens emerged, marking another significant leap in human innovation. Early humans began to craft more specialized tools for specific purposes using a wider variety of materials. This is also when modern stone tools like blades, scrapers, and other sophisticated implements began to appear, signaling a deeper understanding of the natural resources and the environment. The development from Audubon to Acheulean tools and eventually to more advanced tools shows a clear trend in the evolution of human intelligence. This progression would later pave the way for the development of other important technologies such as bone tools, fire, and eventually metalworking. Following the Acheulean period, the advancement of stone tools continued through various phases, with each reflecting a deeper understanding of the world around early humans. Around 300,000 years ago, as Homo sapiens emerged, the progression of tool technology marked significant milestones, expanding into more specialized and sophisticated forms. The next major shift came with the Middle Paleolithic era. It started about 300,000 years ago and ended about 30,000. We begin to see Mousterian tools, which are primarily linked with Neanderthals and early Homo sapiens. These tools are more refined than Acheulean tools, showcasing advancements in flint-knapping techniques and more specialized tools. The Mousterian toolkit was designed for a specific task, like skinning animals, cutting plants, and woodworking. It demonstrated an increase in cognitive complexity, allowing for more diverse and intricate hunting and gathering strategies. Around 40,000 years ago, humans in the Upper Paleolithic period, which is the later stages of the Stone Age, began to develop even more complex tools, including the use of bone and antler to create needles, harpoons, and other tools for specialized tasks. Blades became a dominant tool type, and humans began to make tools that were not just for immediate use, but also for more specific, long-term goals. This included the creation of art, as evidenced by cave paintings, sculptures, and other forms of symbolic expression. 10,000 years ago, we enter into the Neolithic era, also known as the New Stone Age. This brought about the agricultural revolution. This was huge, as we went from a nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyle to finally settling down and forming farming communities. We created polished stone tools like sickles, hatchets, and grinding stones. We can clear land, harvest crops, and process foods. With farming comes the domestication of animals, which only further influenced the types of tools that early humans created. This included tools for animal husbandry and food storage. Around this time, the wheel was starting to take shape, but we'll be covering this at the very beginning of the Bronze Age. As societies grew more complex, so did the tools and technologies that supported them. In the Neolithic, humans also began to experiment with early forms of pottery and weaving. These advancements allowed for the storage of surplus food, the creation of more permanent settlements, and eventually the rise of early civilizations. While there is much more to discuss during this period of history, it's time to wrap it up. With the ending of the Neolithic era, the Stone Ages come to an end. We briefly covered the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic era of history and the major technology advancements that propelled humans forward, minus fire. The Stone Age concludes, but this is not the end of human technological development. It just marks the transition to new creations and discoveries that would further shape human societies in the following years. Just want to add this disclaimer here. This is the first time I'm doing this. I'm still trying to figure out which kind of format I want to go with. I kind of experimented with the AI and stuff, but something I do want to do is make it less scripted. I could tell by going back and looking at the footage that it sounds too uniform, so I'm going to kind of just do PowerPoint style when it comes to putting my notes down. I didn't cover fire. I mentioned this probably like middle of the video. I kind of want to put it in a short and just see what happens. I think the focus on tools I kind of got carried away with. I didn't really have room for fire, so we're going to be covering that in a short, and then the wheel is kind of at the end of the Stone Age, leading into the Copper Age and the Bronze Age, so we're going to cover it first when we get to that point in time. But thanks for watching. Any comments that have suggestions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next episode.